Hey everyone, I want to share with you a couple of things that I've been noticing. One thing is when you're practicing your chords, anybody that's new, you're going to run into this issue right here. When you play a chord, you're not going to get all the notes right. Check your open strings. If they're ringing out, you know that you got pretty good clearance on that. So you can literally practice that chord by just checking your open strings. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is with your left hand, when you start playing, going from chords to like say scales, don't be so up on your fingertips if you're playing single notes, because here's the problem you're going to run into. You're going to accidentally hit other strings. So instead, try this. Try to lightly flatten out your finger to keep those other strings muted. So right now I'm touching that 6th string, so you're not going to hear it right there. Now I'm touching the 5th string with that finger. So keep working on your muting with your left hand. The other thing you want to use is when you're working on bar chords, just practice your capo. So when you're capoing, start playing with 2 strings first. Then start with 3. Then go to 4. And if you can't get 4, then it's going to be hard to do 6, but you now have something to shoot for. So right now I'm on the 8th fret and I'm working on that capo, and I get those 2. Okay, if I can get them, let me add 1 finger on the 9 and work on that chord, that little triad. Then I'm going to add that 3rd finger on 10, that's D10, and now you have a C chord in the 8th position, or around the 8th fret. Then I'm going to practice trying to do 4. If I can do that one, now I can do something like that kind of thing where I can hammer on. Now what I'm doing here is I'm hammering on D10 and B9. But I've got to get that I've got to get that capo first. Then I hammer on the 10th fret on the A string, and I'm working on that bar between A, D, and G strings. So when you're capoing, make sure you're using the side of your finger and not the front or back part of it. You don't want this part that's fleshy. You want this part which is more bony and hard. So muting with the left hand, that's something that we really got to work on. When you're playing your chords, check if you have any open strings that are supposed to be in there. Just play the open string while you're making the chord. And I'll tell you how accurate that chord's going to be. And then with the right hand, make sure that when you're playing chords, and you're still kind of hitting the wrong string. I hear this a lot. When people go to play a C chord, they play it from that 6th string. If you're a victim of that, look, don't worry. Everything's going to be okay, but you've got to find a way to set it up to where you actually know if you're getting better at it. So just make your C and then practice getting that right hand up to the 5 string. And don't even play it yet. Check and see if you're there. And if you are, then you know you're good. And then after that, practice going from one chord to the other. So let's say I'm going to go from G, which is, from the 6th string down, to C. Well, that's 5 string down. So I'm just checking. When you're on that C chord, you should, if you're on that 5 string, you should feel that 6th string right there against your thumb a little bit. So that's always a good little reminder that you're in the right spot. And you can just kind of set yourself up, feel for it, and then go. And then work on that setup like 20 reps every time. It doesn't take long. And then, play it. If it sounds good, then you know you did it right. Make a little check mark that you did it, a tally. And then say you got 3 right today. Well, then do it tomorrow and maybe you get 4. If that's the case, then you know you're getting better, right? And you can keep working on it and you'll find that you're continuing to get better. Like, it's not rocket science, but it is a little bit of time. You've got to develop a sense of patience, but you also got to have some tenacity and go through it being bad for a little while. Everybody has to go through it. Some get through it a little quicker than others because they listen to their bodies better. You just find that thing that helps you, make that connection, and then you can too. One more tip. Use your mirror when you practice, or use your phone in camera mode and selfie mode looking back at yourself when you practice. If your phone goes into standby when you're videoing and you're not videoing yet, go ahead and video and then just, turn it off and delete it after you watch it real quick, and then get it out of your trash can and empty your trash and your phone. That way you keep your memory up. So these are some tips. Thanks y'all so much for just kind of hanging with me. I wanted to make sure to kind of throw some of these tips out there for you guys. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Share this with any of your friends that have having a hard time with this stuff and they're just started playing. Y'all have a blessed day and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.